The more I've learned about Zionist Israel, the more parallels I've seen between it and World War II Germany. So in this video, I'll be going over those parallels that I've discovered between Israel and Germany. First off, we have the Prime Minister of Israel tweeting out that Israelis are the children of light in a struggle against the children of darkness, which is almost word for what German soldiers were taught to believe. Schutzstaffel Commander Wolf says that the men of the Schutzstaffel were subtly conditioned to see themselves as the sons of light, that they were engaged in a struggle against the powers of darkness. Kristallnacht, the Night of the Broken Glass, was a horrifying slaughter of the Jews in Germany, and it was the beginning of the end. The Nakba of 1948, when Jewish militias slaughtered Palestinians and forced thousands to flee, was also the beginning of the end for the Palestinians, to their land being stolen and them being oppressed. World War II Germany demolished Jewish homes, especially during the Night of the Broken Glass, when in numerous places there were hundreds of homes destroyed. This reminds me of the demolishing of Palestinian homes in the West Bank. Citizenship law in Germany only allowed those with German or related blood to be granted citizenship. Israel's law of return only grants those with Jewish blood to become citizens and be granted citizenship, not those driven out by the Nakba in exile who are refugees who want to come back to their land. Theodor Herzl, the founder of Zionism in 1895, wrote in his diary that in the settling of Israel, we shall try to spirit the penniless population across the border while denying it employment in our country. The removal of the poor must be carried out discreetly and circumspectly. We are not going to sell them anything. Basically, the original plan was to expel the Palestinians by not giving them business in their own land, which is similar to Germans boycotting Jewish businesses and not giving them any business in Germany. The law for the defense of German blood and honor forbade marriage between Jews and non-Jewish German citizens. In March of last year, Israel passed a similar law denying naturalization to Palestinians from occupied West Bank or Gaza married to Israeli citizens, which forced thousands of Palestinian families to either emigrate or live apart. Testimonies from World War II show that the German people knew what was going on and what they were doing to the Jews, but they kind of ignored it and tried not to talk about it. Israel has what's nicknamed the Nakba law, which penalizes those who speak about the Nakba. In 2009, they removed the word Nakba from a school textbook meant for young Arab children. Quite literally, the erasure of history. The Jewish ghettos created by Germany to, quote, protect the civilian population is very reminiscent of the Gaza Strip in the West Bank. These ghettos were shut in by walls, fences, and barbed wire. No one could leave or enter without a special permit. Here's what the Gaza Strip looks like. Here's what the West Bank looks like. Israel has instated a permit regime that they have to have in order to exit Gaza for medical aid, visiting family, working. Everybody needs it to do anything they want. The Jewish state bill allows for the establishment of segregated towns, which they can restrict to people of a certain religious group, you know who that's going to be, and of a certain nationality, you know who that's going to be. On November 28th of 1944, the Reich Ministry of Interior restricted the freedom of movement of Jews. Again, we can look at the West Bank, we can look at the Gaza Strip. The West Bank residents have to go through checkpoints and border walls and pass clearances. They have a segregated road system. When illegal settlements are built on their land, they're said, you can't go near those settlements. We're protecting the safety of them. Which is why the West Bank is considered to be fragmented, because Palestinians are banned from going in places near Israeli settlements. Germany had a law that banned the Jewish people from farming. Under the permit regime, many Palestinian farmers can't access their own land because they've made it so difficult for them to get the necessary permits to go work on land that they own. The Human Rights Watch director said that the purpose is to isolate Palestinians from their lands. These are Palestinians and these are Jews. You can see the resemblance between what's happening to both of these groups. I know some people may think that's unrealistic to compare Germany to Israel because of what has happened between those two groups. What you have to understand is that during that time in Germany, they had a far-right government that supported nationalism and a ethno-state of a standard of Aryans. And today in Israel, their far-right government that supports nationalism wants to establish an ethno-state of Zionist Jews. They're both on the same exact side of the political spectrum, only the standard has changed between the two. One more thing I want to say. Just because a people was oppressed does not mean that they are barred from becoming oppressors in the future. One historical example of this is that in colonial America, the colonies were being oppressed by a tyrannical British Empire. When they freed themselves from British tyranny through the Revolutionary War, they turned around and genocided the Native Americans. These were a group of people who were oppressed by a tyrannical government, and they literally turned around from facing the sea to facing the westward coast of America and genocided the people living there. I hope that in this video I was able to show you guys some of these parallels and that you guys were able to see them too. But that's all for this video. Please share, favorite, repost, and press the copy the link button a bunch of times because it counts as a share and you don't gotta send it to anybody. But that's all for this video. Free Palestine.